Hello guys. LSU is about to steal Alabama's receiver. This is a disaster for Bama and Kalen Deboer. Let's get to that. Alabama is about to face another one of its most tense moments. When it comes to Booby Feaster, one of the most coveted receivers in the country in the 2026 class, things seem to be going in the Crimson Tide's favor until recently. Now, with the wind blowing in LSU's direction, the situation in Tuscaloosa is far from comfortable. Booby Feaster is not just another name on Alabama's prospect list, he is a player who represents the immediate future of the team's offense. Ranked as the 6th best wide receiver in the country by the 247 Sports Composite and the 46th best player nationally, Feaster possesses the kind of talent that can turn any reception into a touchdown. His ability to stretch the field, his explosive speed, and his reliable hands make him a perfect target for any quarterback. And for a brief moment, it seemed like Kalen Deboer had won his heart during an unofficial visit to Tuscaloosa. The visit to Alabama's campus was described by Feaster as incredible. He was excited about the atmosphere, the program, and everything the Crimson Tide stands for. Even recruiting analysts began to speculate that Alabama had risen to the top of his list. After all, Alabama's legacy of football excellence has always been a deciding factor for many elite players. However, like any good drama, things took an unexpected turn. Feaster's trip to LSU changed everything completely. What happened in Baton Rouge was, in the words of the experts themselves, spectacular. Brian Kelly and his staff put on a show to impress the young talent, and it seemed to work. Chad Simmons and Steve Wiltfong, two of the most respected names in recruiting, have already made their predictions known. Feaster will commit to LSU. That news, of course, didn't sit well in Tuscaloosa. For Alabama fans, this potential loss is a huge blow, especially since Feaster was seen as a cornerstone for the 2026 class. Originally a 2027 commit, his reclassification to 2026 has further increased his value, as he can now contribute sooner to the program of his choice. With 50 scholarship offers to his name, Feaster has the luxury of choosing from some of the best programs in the country. Texas, Oregon and, of course, Alabama are all in the running, but LSU appears to be gaining ground quickly. The issue here goes beyond just losing an elite player. For Kalen Deboer, who is trying to solidify his position as head coach at a program with expectations as high as Alabama, every piece of the puzzle matters. Losing Feaster to LSU would be a significant setback, both in terms of talent and narrative. After a challenging year, Deboer needed recruiting wins to show that Alabama is still at the top of the college football food chain. Feaster could have been one of those wins. On the other hand, LSU is showing that it will not give up on competing at the highest levels of recruiting. Under Brian Kelly, the Tigers have invested heavily in attracting the best talent in the country, and Feaster appears to be yet another example of that aggressive strategy. LSU's ability to sell its vision and create personal connections with players has been impressive, and that's evident in Feaster's case. While Alabama fans are hoping something changes by the end of the recruiting process, the reality is that the landscape is complicated. Feaster still has visits scheduled to Texas and Oregon, meaning nothing is set in stone until he makes his official decision. However, the current trend is pointing toward LSU, and that's concerning for the future of the Crimson Tide offense. Recruiting is a game of patience and strategy, and Alabama knows that better than anyone. Even if Feaster chooses LSU, there are other incredible players available on the market. Still, losing a talent like him would be a reminder that even for a giant like Alabama, nothing is guaranteed in the highly competitive world of college football. It remains to be seen whether Kalen Deboer and his staff can turn things around and bring in other key pieces to keep the program on top. For now, though, all eyes are on Feaster and where he chooses to go to shape his future and, by extension, the future of one of the sport's greatest programs. A multi-day first visit to Alabama was a resounding success for Nick Abrams too, the linebacker ranked as one of the nation's top prospects in the 2025 class. The young man left Tuscaloosa with one unshakable impression: Alabama not only met his expectations, it exceeded them in nearly every way. For a player who was already impressed with the program before he even stepped foot on campus, that statement carries significant weight. Ever since receiving his official offer from new linebackers coach Chuck Morrell earlier this year, Abrams has shown genuine interest in the Crimson Tide. The presence of Morrell and Kalen Deboer at his high school, the McDonough School in Maryland, was a gesture that spoke louder than any words could. "It meant a lot to have them come visit me," Abrams said at the time. That kind of personalized attention is something few programs can provide, and Abrams recognized it as a clear sign that he is a top priority for Alabama. It was this initial connection that planted the seed for his visit to Tuscaloosa, a visit that, in his own words, definitely exceeded expectations. What makes this connection even more interesting is the context. Abrams is a versatile and athletic linebacker who can excel in both coverage and running plays. He is ranked as the 14th best linebacker in the country by rivals, and his profile perfectly matches the aggressive, disciplined style that Alabama always seeks in its defenders. His presence on the roster could be a game-changer for the Crimson Tide defense in the coming years, especially considering the constant need to replenish talent at key positions. During his visit, Abrams had the opportunity to experience everything Alabama has to offer, from the state-of-the-art facilities to the vibrant Tuscaloosa environment. He also got to interact with the coaches and players, something that always plays a crucial role in a recruit's decision-making process. For Abrams, Alabama seems to be the complete package, a perfect combination of tradition, academic excellence, and athletic opportunities. "It's everything you could want in a school," he said shortly after receiving his offer, and that feeling only grew stronger after his visit. The personal approach of Chuck Morrell and Kalen Deboer was undoubtedly one of the deciding factors in this process. The trip to Maryland demonstrated that Alabama is willing to go the extra mile to land top players. This strategy reflects the competitive mindset that defines the program. The Crimson Tide don't just wait for top talent to come to them, they go after it with relentless determination. And it seems that approach is working for Abrams. With his visit complete and his opinion of Alabama clearly positive, the next steps will be crucial. While nothing is certain until an official decision is made, it's clear that Alabama is well positioned in the race for Abrams. Other elite programs are also in the running, but the emotional and professional impact Tuscaloosa had on him could be the difference the Crimson Tide needs to seal the deal. Now we wonder if this experience will be enough to convince him to wear the Crimson Tide uniform, but at least there is a good team waiting for him to add to the Tide. Let us know what you think. It's important to everyone at Bama.